fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Hello everyone. This is Kirusho here, and let us begin. Whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. After his battle with All For One and Meliodas, where a man known as the Sin of, well, Pride. After this man butted in, he was able to help Midoriya take down All For One and Meliodas. Midoriya believes Meliodas is dead. The amount of power behind that man's attack, the one behind All For One, completely evaporated his body. And what he did to Meliodas, he should be dead. He cut him in two and blasted him basically into the horizon. Now, with that being said, it has been a couple days. The man said he was going to see him tomorrow, but he hasn't seen the man in almost, well, that time. Any time since. Now, as they are all stuck in class, Mr. Aizawa does actually inform them that he is going to be very busy, well, later. So he actually will not be teaching them or taking them through their training today. In fact, someone else will be taking over their class, or his class. They also did want to introduce themselves. Him introducing the Big Three. Now, as soon as they all do walk in, Mirio immediately just beelines for Midoriya's desk, saying that watching them fight in the sports festival was actually very insane. Along with that, it was just so weird. You know, I heard they actually did have to put a TV rating on that. What do you mean? Oh, well, after your first match, or at least, well, stunt, basically no kid underneath the age of 13 could watch. Oh. I did not know that. Well, I mean, you did sort of have limbs flying around, right? Yeah. Yeah, I did actually want to ask a question about that. So, exactly what is the extent of your quirk? What are you talking about? Well, you were blown into a pile of bones, basically, right? Almost. About 95% of my body mass was gone. 95? Yeah. It doesn't matter what you do to me. I can keep going. Oh wow, now you're just getting me pumped up then. You know what? Mr. Aizawa, could I test everyone's strengths here? It's your funeral. Besides, I do need to go actually. Mr. Aizawa leaving to head to the office, or teacher's office, to fill out Midoriya's paperwork. Now, they all do actually head out to the gym and get changed into their clothes, or their PE uniforms. Now then, after that is all said and done, I am just going to state one thing simply. Mirio, Nejire, and Tamaki. They are not beating Class 1A in this timeline. Now, granted it will be a very long and extended fight, especially if Midoriya does take on these three by himself. But with the abilities that, well, Kirishima, Bakugo, and Todoroki do have, there's also the fact that every girl in the class knows magic. Now, I do want to say Midoriya did at least try and use his weapon, or the pair of, well, long nunchucks he has, that he's always at least wanted to try. Now, granted, trying to face off against a guy that can phase through anything, these things do nothing. In fact, Mirio actually did punch and break it. He punched straight through the metal and basically pissed Midoriya off more. Whenever Midoriya could get a solid hit in, it hurt Mirio a lot. Now, after that is all said and done, the students of Class 1 who didn't get their shit wrecked are basically all still standing. Well, the big three, they are all down for the count. Him kinda just surprised. It seems like some of them do have multiple quirks. It's very strange. Not really. Well, I mean, look at that girl, he says, pointing to the girl with green hair, saying that he didn't expect her to throw a literal log at Nejire. Oh, no, that wasn't like that. Her making up a bit of a lie. Using her vines, if she plants a seed in her hair, she can basically rapidly mature it to full growth, stating that it's kind of like talking to nature, in a way. And then there is Kendo, who got stuck actually fighting Tamaki. Tamaki, he almost had his shell completely smacked. Bleh. He was hiding in a clamshell for a minute, and that almost completely got destroyed. And there's also the fact that Momo, her butting in, did actually cause Tamaki to have a lot of trouble. Whenever Kendo did proceed to use, well, hardened steel, this was the finishing blow. Now, with that being said, Midoriya does actually head back over to the general studies, the support course classroom. Whenever he does arrive, everyone immediately just turns to face Midoriya, looking in his direction. Isn't that the guy who came here and tested out a whole bunch of stuff for Hatsume? Yeah. Dude, isn't that guy suicidal? No, you got it wrong. But he tested stuff for Hatsume, right? Hell, she blows up the workshop almost like 3 times a week. Well, yeah, but ever since she talked with him, at least she's gotten it down to 2. Dude, come on, I would rather it not be anything. Now, Midoriya, he actually does hold up something. As soon as he does, Hatsume, well, she turns, being able to see Midoriya. Her, heartbroken for a second, finding that one of the babies she created is destroyed. Now, she actually does begin to ask Midoriya if he's gonna need anything else. Oh, well, There's also something else. You see, you know how I've been wearing those, like the leather outfit kind of thing where it's just a black suit, kinda? No, not really. Figures. Anyways, I was hoping that you guys can make me a suit that might be fireproof, acid proof. I would say stab proof, but I don't think that's really gonna hurt me. Why do you need this fancy suit? Huh? Wait, did Hatsume actually just ask him why he needed something? Well, the staff I can understand, but the suit with your quirk? It makes no sense. Well, I mean, it's just that I kinda have to replace my hero outfit every time it's destroyed. So, do you think you can at least make me something that could resemble it, sort of, and be fireproof? And acid proof? Okay, but why do you want those particular sets? Or those particular proofs, I should say. Well, because I kinda don't want to be fighting a villain well, the clothes I was born in, or in my underwear. Okay. Besides, I'm basically already almost fireproof, but the clothing, it's kind of a must. Okay, and what about her holding up the broken staff? Sort of disappointed. Yeah, that thing. You see, I had an idea for that. I've been talking with and at least looking around a little bit in my free time whenever I'm not training, and found that there's this weird thing that's sort of like, well, this. Hmm? What do you mean? Well, basically, you want to build another one of those and connect the two together, kinda. Like a. I'm confused. Wouldn't that just be like a giant pair of nunchucks? No, no. Midoriya pulling out his phone and actually bringing up a picture of one of these things. Here, this is what it is. Hmm? Oh, I think I know what that is. Do you actually, or are you just saying that? Hmm. I. Hmm. No, wait, I know what those pieces are. I think we have a few of those. However, making the thing out of metal or your staff thing or whatever you want to call it, that's probably going to be the harder part. Hmm? What are you talking about? Well, I mean, hmm, this is actually kind of interesting. So, is there anything else you need made? Not really. Midoriya going to leave. As soon as he actually does turn around, Hatsume grabs him by his arm. Midoriya, he immediately turns his head and is confused, his face turning red, asking exactly what does she want. Her basically is holding Midoriya's arm in a vice grip, saying that he can't leave now that he just got here. He needs to test out more for babies. Uh, really? I'm not testing anything out. Hmm. Her going on to pout, saying that he must test them out. He's the only one who cannot get injured. Now, Midori just looks up and around the room. It was noisy a second ago, but now it's completely quiet. Everyone either crossing their fingers, or at least putting their hands together and at least trying to pray. Midoriya, looking around the room, he can tell that everyone clearly doesn't like it whenever this girl runs these experiments. You know what? Fine. Do you at least know what you're testing out? Oh, yes. Well, there's actually a bit of multiple things. Her talking about these sort of support weapons, offensive things, support items that could possibly help more, or at least try and support someone's lower back. Basically, if a pro hero has a strength quirk, it would be like a metal spine, something that can at least take 200 pounds of stress off of the hero's body. Basically, so they don't pull a muscle and drop concrete on their feet. Now, with that being said, Midoriya gets stuck testing out quite a lot of these things. And before the end of the day, Midoriya does actually, at least, hear that Hatsume is beginning to design his outfit and his new staff. Now, Midoriya, after testing the latest invention and having it explode in his face, gets sent flying and smashing into a tree. Before he actually does just sit down and lay against it for a second. Jesus. It's been crazy. Hmm? What are you talking about? Are you insulting my babies? Midoriya looking up to see her. Hmm? No, I'm not. I sort of had my own things on my own plate for a minute. Okay, what are you talking about? Well, Midoriya says, thinking. He can try and explain it to her, but she might question it. You know what, she probably won't even do that. How would you feel if you knew I was immortal? Hatsume, quickly responding without missing a beat, that does not really matter. If he can't die, then that just means that he can test out all of her inventions for as long as she would want, right? Wow, no hesitation. Ha. No, Hatsume, I'm being serious. here's my question. What if, well, what if you spent most of your life with one set goal? One set goal that someone has given to you. What are you talking about? Well, I just mean like, well, okay. So, let's say that I've always wanted to be a pro hero, ever since I was younger. With my particular quirk, or at least before I realized it manifested, my parents, let's say they thought I was quirkless. So they wanted to keep me away from the danger. But, fast forward to today. I'm about to get a pro hero license. Okay. What do you, like, want to know then? Well, I mean, I'm just saying. What do you do whenever you've completed your dream? What's left? This time, Hatsume actually does seem to respond differently to that. It's striking a chord. That reminds her about one of the inventions she had Midoriya test. Because of Midoriya's successful run of it, she was actually able to get an investor interested in it. So a support company actually does want to sign a bit of a deal with her. Well, I don't know. You don't know? Well, that's kind of hard to say. I mean, I'm not one for speeches or anything, but I'd say your best bet would just be to keep going. Well, I mean, that's what I thought, but I don't know how to. Especially now that the fact is the Demon Clan's not around. I don't have to worry about them anymore. That's at least good. Now, with that being said, Midoriya and May do actually talk a little bit more, before Midoriya tests out more inventions. And then he actually does go to the, well, Provisional license test. I almost forgot the name of it. And he does change into his new hero outfit. Now, along with that, everyone does at least have a folder. It's talking about who they are and basically what their hero names are. A lot of people actually reading off some of the details within it, along with Midori at least showing off that he got his hero name changed. Many different people looking around in the bus at Midoriya. What? How'd you do that? Oh, I'm not telling you. Oh, come on. Mineta making a pervy joke that he probably talked to Miss Midnight. Now, basically it was something to do with Midnight. Assume with that what you will. Anyways, now, with that being said, once everyone does actually pull up and arrive, Midoriya does step out of the bus. And quite a lot of people do actually recognize him. Now, they do actually seem a bit more weary of Class 1A in this timeline, especially because of the strange abilities two of those students showed off. Apparently, one wasn't supposed to have that weird steel quirk. She was only supposed to have a big hands quirk. Then there's the fact that they literally have the immortal man. Watching the news the other day, well, the guy was insane. Plus, they've even heard a bit of a rumor. During the final exams for their school, he choked out All Might. Now, with that being said, Class 1A does have a bit of a target on its head. However, there's also the chance that they want to avoid Midoriya. He's the most dangerous person there. Now, with that, they do arrive, get changed in their hero outfits, and there's actually a bit of a discussion. No one here really knows what their quirks are. So, they all should really stick together. Now, this quickly does actually fall apart. Before, they're at least able to stay in somewhat larger groups, breaking up into groups of 3, being able to go around and make sure that their entire class does pass. Along with that, there's actually a bit of time afterwards, where Midoriya, he's actually just chilling out and hanging out after he did get his, well, required points to pass. He is just sitting down and actually signing a bit of autographs for some people, asking if he's the movie star. Him explaining that that's not his pro hero name. Really? Yup. Besides, I think if I'd have to give myself a name, I thought of something unique. I'd suggest you all keep an eye out for me. Now, along with that, well, I do believe everyone would pass in this scenario. Even the whole thing with Momo, Froppy, and I believe. I think it was Mina or Jiro, where they were stuck against that super intelligence girl Intelli. That would end differently since they know magic, and Intelli would not be able to predict that. Now, this is going to be the end of the What If. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next series.